He reached out his hand, but she didn't take it. Because this goodbye wasn't just breaking hearts, it was tearing a family apart forever. Before the story begins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because stories like this stay with you long after the screen fades to black. The train station stood silent under the golden sunset, its wooden beams glowing like they had seen 1,000 goodbyes before. Dust floated in the air as the rails stretched endlessly into the distance, carrying memories instead of trains. She stood alone on the tracks. Her white dress was stained with dirt, her hair pulled back loosely, strands falling across a tired, wounded face. She had walked a long way to reach this place, longer than miles could explain. Across from her stood a man in a worn cowboy hat. His coat was faded, his eyes heavier than his years. One arm wrapped tightly around two red-haired girls, both clinging to him as if letting go would make the world collapse. This was not a meeting. This was a reckoning. "Papa," the younger girl whispered, her fingers gripping his jacket. He didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on the woman before him, the woman who once laughed in this town, who once dreamed of growing old beside him. Slowly, he raised his hand toward her. Not in anger. Not in command. But in desperate hope. "Come with us," he said, his voice barely stronger than the wind. "We can still fix this." Her lips trembled. Memories rushed back, nights in a small cabin, promises made under open skies, children sleeping between them during storms. She remembered love, and she remembered betrayal. "You made your choice," she said quietly. The older girl looked up at her father. "Mama," she whispered, unsure, hopeful, afraid. The word hit her harder than any bullet ever could. She stepped forward, then stopped. The train whistle echoed far away, a sound that meant endings in the frontier. The town behind. Her had taken everything she had. The family in front of her held everything she loved. "I can't," she said, tears cutting clean lines through the dust on her cheeks. The man swallowed hard. His hand remained outstretched, shaking now. "Please," he said. "They need you." She looked at the girls, their matching freckles, their frightened eyes. She wanted to run to them, to hold them, to never let go again. But sometimes love means walking away. Not because you want to, but because staying would destroy everyone. "I'll only ruin them," she whispered. The younger girl began to cry. The older one turned her face away, angry and confused. The man slowly lowered his hand. That single movement hurt more than words ever could. The train thundered past, wind whipping her dress, drowning out the sound of breaking hearts. When the noise faded, she was already walking away down the tracks, into a future no one could see. He held his daughters tighter. And in that moment, all four of them knew. Nothing would ever be the same again. She walked away to save them. But years later, fate brought her back and the truth hurt even more. Years passed like dust storms, sudden, harsh, and impossible to stop. The girls grew. The younger one stopped crying in her sleep. The older one stopped asking questions. Both learned early that silence was safer than hope. Their father never remarried. He worked harder than ever, hands rougher, eyes quieter. At night, he would sit on the porch, staring toward the tracks, wondering if the woman who walked away ever thought of them too. She did. Every single day. She lived on the edge of another town, taking work no one wanted. She carried guilt like a shadow, always there, always heavy. Letters were written but never sent. She believed distance was mercy. Until fate decided otherwise. One autumn evening, a writer arrived with news. The older girl was sick. Bad sick. Without hesitation, she mounted a horse and rode. Through the night. When she reached the house, the man froze. For a moment, neither spoke. Years of pain filled the space between them. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "I know," she replied. "But I'm staying." The girl saw her from the doorway. Grown now, taller, stronger, but still carrying the scars of that day at the station. The younger one ran forward first. The older one hesitated, then followed. No words could fix what had been broken. But sometimes presence is stronger than apology. She stayed through the illness. Through the fear. Through the long nights. And slowly, healing began, not perfect, not complete, but real. One evening, the man joined her outside. "I hated you," he admitted. "Because it was easier than missing you." She nodded. "I hated myself for leaving." They stood in silence, watching the sunset, the same color as the day they said goodbye. This time, no trains came. Some wounds never disappear. But some love survives everything. And sometimes, the bravest thing isn't holding on. It's coming back. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel because more powerful frontier stories are coming soon.